Over 80 things are taking up space in your home right now. You may not even realize it, but they're causing stress and taking away the freedom you truly deserve. So today, I'm going to share with you over 80 things you can declutter. Today, helping you create a clean, calm space without any guilt or regret. No more holding on to things that don't serve you. If you skip this video, you'll continue living in a cluttered space that drains your energy and keeps you feeling overwhelmed. But if you follow the simple steps in this video, you'll feel a shift almost immediately. Before we dive in, drop a comment below about one item you've been thinking about letting go of. I promise you're not alone in this. Let's get started. Right now, I'm standing in my living room, a space filled with decorative items that take up so much room. So I'm going to start decluttering one item at a time to create a more open and relaxing space. The first thing I'm going to remove is the picture or photo that I no longer love. It's easy to keep it up just because it's always been there, but if it no longer brings me joy, it's time to let it go and make room for something that truly resonates with me. Next, I'll be clearing out the decorative statues that no longer match the room's vibe. These used to look great, but now they feel out of place. Getting rid of them will instantly create more breathing room in the space. I'm also getting rid of those souvenirs that don't bring any real joy anymore. They might have been meaningful once, but now they're just collecting dust without sparking any positive feelings. Letting go of them will help me feel lighter. Next, I'll tackle the travel mementos from past trips. At one point, I felt like I needed to hold on to them, but those memories are in my heart, not in my shelves. It's time to free up that space for things that bring me more joy now. I'm also going to clear out decor pieces that no longer match my current style. Our tastes change over time, and what once felt right now might just feel outdated. Removing those items will refresh the space and make it feel more aligned with my style today. Then I'll let go of any old handcrafted items I've made or collected. While they may have sentimental value if they're no longer things I use or connect with, it's time to pass them on and make room for the things I actually love now. I'll also part with any outdated decorative lamps that no longer fit the room. These can easily stick around longer than they should, but swapping them out for something modern will instantly give the room a fresh, updated feel. I'm also going to remove any picture frames I no longer use. These might be holding old photos that don't serve a purpose anymore. Clearing those out will give the room a more organized, clutter-free look. And I'm getting rid of any extra decorative items in the living room that I simply don't need. Sometimes we hold on to things just because they've been there for years, but getting rid of them can instantly make the space feel calmer and more inviting. I'm also going to get rid of any artificial flowers that no longer look good. Over time, these can collect dust and start to look fake and out of place. It's better to replace them with something fresh or leave the space open. Next, I'm tackling all the old and unnecessary items that I've been holding onto for no reason. These might be items that I once thought I'd use, but they just sit around taking up space. Letting go of these will open up so much more room for the things I truly need. I'll also be removing that old uncomfortable chair that's been in the corner for far too long. It's been a place for piles of clothes more than a spot for sitting, and it's just not doing anything for the room anymore. The old table that no longer fits the aesthetic of the room is next. It's been here for years, but it's just not working anymore. Getting rid of it will create space for something more modern and useful. I'm also getting rid of chairs that I no longer use. They might be taking up room, but never actually getting used. Clearing these out will make the space feel more open and functional. I'm also going to part with any damaged interior decor items. Whether it's chipped, cracked, or just looks worn out, these items don't add value to the room anymore. Removing them will make the space feel cleaner and more polished. The old unused desk is also going. It's time to let go of furniture that's taking up space but serves no purpose. With fewer pieces around the room, we'll look more spacious and organized. And lastly, I'm getting rid of unnecessary cabinets. Some of them are just taking up space and storing things that I never use. Letting go of them will instantly create a more open environment. By removing these items, I can already feel the room becoming more open and easier to live in. I encourage you to try it out in your own space and see how it transforms. Alright, let's move to the kitchen and start decluttering. Starting with the baking tools I no longer need. Over time, you realize there are baking gadgets that just take up space and are never used. Whether it's a cake pan I haven't used in years or a mixer that's collecting dust, it's time to let them go and free up some space in my kitchen. Next, I'll tackle the extra pots and pans that I don't use. I'm sure some of them were great once, but they've been sitting in the cupboard untouched for too long. Decluttering these will help me create more space for the kitchen tools I actually use daily. I'll also clear out cups and mugs that are no longer needed. There are always a few random mugs or cups hiding in the back of cabinets, some chipped, others never used. It's time to let them go and keep only the ones I truly enjoy using. Now I'm looking at the blender that's broken. I've been holding onto it for far too long, thinking I might fix it one day, but honestly, it's just taking up space. It's time for it to go, and I'll make room for something that actually works. I'm also getting rid of old cooking utensils that have worn out or just don't perform well anymore. Whether it's a spatula with a melted handle or a non-stick pan that's lost its coating, it's better to get rid of them rather than keep struggling with them. Next, I'm clearing out the knives that aren't sharp anymore. A dull knife is not only annoying to use, but it's also dangerous. I'll toss out the ones that can't be sharpened and make room for some high-quality functional tools. I'll also part with the old plastic containers that have been gathering in my kitchen. They may have been useful once, but now they're either stained, cracked, or just not functional anymore. It's time to get rid of them and keep only the sturdy, BPA-free ones. Now I'm looking at the kitchen items that no longer suit my current needs. Over time, we accumulate gadgets and utensils that we think we'll use, but they just end up taking up space. Whether it's a popcorn maker or a rice cooker, I rarely use. It's time to part with them and streamline my kitchen. And I'll be removing the old water glasses and cups that are chipped or just never used. They take up space in the cabinet, and I can always replace them with new ones if I need to. Now I'll be getting rid of the coffee making tools I no longer use. Over time, we often collect more coffee gadgets than we actually need a French press, an old grinder, or a coffee machine that's been gathering dust. If they're not getting any use, it's time to let them go and free up some space. Next, I'll check for expired food that's been hiding in my pantry. We all have that one jar or box of food that we keep just in case. But if it's past its expiration date, it's only adding to the clutter. I'll toss anything that's no longer safe or useful. I'll also go through the old food in the fridge. Things get pushed to the back, and before you know it, there's expired leftovers or wilted veggies that no one's going to eat. Clearing these out will make the fridge feel so much fresher and easier to navigate. Lastly, I'll get rid of any expired drinks in the fridge or pantry. Sodas and juices that have been sitting around too long are just taking up space and adding unnecessary clutter. Out they go, making room for fresh beverages that I actually enjoy. By decluttering these food items and unused tools, my kitchen is already feeling much more organized and efficient. It's amazing how much lighter a space can feel when you let go of the things you don't need. Now let's move into the bedroom and tackle the closet, where clutter often piles up without us even realizing it. I'll begin with the clothes that no longer fit. It's easy to hold on to things with the hope that they'll fit again one day, but if they don't fit now, it's time to let them go. I'll free up space for items I actually wear and feel good in. Next, I'll tackle the shoes that no longer fit or just aren't comfortable anymore. We all have that one pair of shoes we keep, even though we never wear them. Clearing them out will give me room for shoes that I actually love and wear regularly. I'm also going to part with jackets or hats that I no longer use. Whether it's an old winter coat or a hat that's never really matched my style, these items just take up precious space in my closet. Time to let them go and make room for things I'll actually wear. Next up are those old handbags that I haven't used in forever. Whether it's a purse that's too small or just doesn't match my style anymore, it's better to give it away or donate it than to keep it in the back of my closet taking up space. I'll also clear out t-shirts or dresses that I never wear. These are the items that just hang in the closet and never see the light of day. I'll donate the ones that are still in good condition and say goodbye to the ones that are worn out or outdated. I'll go through the old swimsuits that no longer fit. Whether they've stretched out or just don't fit my body the same way, it's time to let them go. I'll keep the ones that make me feel confident and comfortable and toss the rest. I'm also clearing out any accessories that are no longer in style. Whether it's a scarf necklace or belt that I haven't worn in months or years, it's time to part with those and keep only the accessories I actually use and enjoy. Next, I'll let go of old gloves or socks that are worn out or don't fit anymore. We all have that drawer full of mismatched socks or old gloves that are missing their pair. Time to clear that out and make my drawer more organized and functional. I'll be getting rid of underwear that no longer fits. It's amazing how often we hold on to ill-fitting underwear, but it's time to let those go and keep only the comfortable and well-fitting pieces. Next, I'll be clearing out the old blankets and pillows that are no longer useful. Whether they've become too worn out or just don't provide the comfort they once did, it's time to let them go. Keeping them only takes up valuable space, so it's best to part with them and make room for fresh, comfortable options. Next, I'll tackle any pillows, blankets, or throws that are no longer needed. These tend to pile up, and many of them are either damaged or just don't serve a purpose anymore. It's a good time to donate any that are still in good condition and get rid of those that are too worn out to keep. Lastly, I'll clear out any old bedspreads or covers that I no longer use. Whether they're just sitting in storage or are too faded to use, it's best to part with them and create space for bedding I'll actually use and enjoy. Clearing these out will instantly refresh the space and make the room feel lighter and more organized. Let's move to the bathroom and start clearing out the clutter in this space. I'll start with the extra bathroom items that I no longer need. Whether it's old toiletries, unused products, or random items I've accumulated over time, it's time to get rid of anything that doesn't belong or serve a purpose in my bathroom. Next, I'll go through the old cosmetic bottles I have lying around. We all have a few bottles of products we thought we'd use, but they've been sitting on the shelf for months or even years. If they're not being used, it's best to clear them out and free up space. I'm also going to toss any hair care products that I don't use anymore. This could be an old shampoo, conditioner, or styling product that I no longer reach for. If it's collecting dust, it's time to let it go. I'll check for any beauty products that have expired as well. These are usually the easiest to forget about, but expired makeup or skincare can do more harm than good. It's time to say goodbye to anything past its prime and keep only what's still safe and effective. Finally, I'll clear out old hair tools that are no longer functioning or that I no longer use. Whether it's a broken hairdryer or an unused curling iron, these items are just taking up space and collecting dust. Out they go. By decluttering these bathroom items, I'll feel more organized and ready to enjoy a clean, streamlined space. It's amazing how clearing out these little things can make such a big difference. Let's move to the work area and declutter those papers and office supplies that have been piling up. I'll start with the old bills that have already expired. These are easy to forget about but can quickly pile up. If they're no longer relevant, it's time to shred or recycle them to free up space. Next, I'll tackle any old tax or financial documents that I don't need anymore. If I've already filed them or they're out of date, they're just taking up unnecessary room. I'll dispose of what's no longer needed and keep the important documents. I'll go through any notebooks or notes that are no longer necessary. Whether it's old meeting notes or reminders from months ago, I'll get rid of them to keep my desk clear and focused on what's important now. I'll also remove the extra file folders that I don't need. Over time, we tend to collect more than necessary. It's time to sort through them, keeping only the essentials that help me stay organized. I'm clearing out old phone bills and similar outdated documents. These can accumulate quickly, but if they're no longer relevant, it's better to get rid of them to create a cleaner, more efficient workspace. Next, I'll get rid of forms or papers I never use. Whether it's old templates, marketing materials, or forms that are collecting dust, it's time to dispose of them and make space for what I actually use. I'll also clear out printed email addresses or old contact info that's no longer up to date. We tend to print out things we think we'll need, but if the information is no longer valid, it's time to let it go. I'm tackling the excess pens in my drawer. We all have too many pens that don't work, are duplicates, or that we just don't use. It's time to keep only the ones that are actually functional and necessary. Next, I'll go through the unused paper clips and binder clips. If they've been lying around untouched for months, there's no reason to keep them. It's time to free up that space. I'll also remove any old documents or files that no longer serve a purpose. Whether it's outdated reports, personal papers, or anything irrelevant, it's time to clear out the clutter and make room for more current materials. Finally, I'll clear out documents in storage that are outdated or no longer needed. Keeping unnecessary documents just takes up space, so I'll ensure I'm only storing what I absolutely need. Now I'm moving on to decluttering my electronics and tech items. I tend to leave a lot of these around the house, old phones, unused gadgets, and random cords that don't serve any purpose anymore. So it's time to go through them and clear out what I don't need. First, I'll tackle the old phones I've been holding on to. I usually keep them as backups, but if they're no longer working or haven't been used in ages, it's time to let them go. Next, I'll go through the broken laptop that's been sitting unused for a while. It doesn't work properly, and it's just taking up space. It's time to properly dispose of it or recycle it to free up some room. I'll also check the old tablet that no longer does the job. It's slow and outdated, so it's better to part with it and make room for devices that are more efficient and useful. Then I'll get rid of headphones that don't work or aren't used anymore. They've been lying in my drawer collecting dust, so it's time to toss them out and make space for a better set that I actually use. I've also got a bunch of extra charging cables lying around. These are usually tangled or don't fit any of my current devices, so I'm going to discard the ones I no longer need. Next, I'll get rid of the old Bluetooth speakers that I don't use anymore. They're just taking up space, so I'll either donate them or recycle them depending on their condition. I've also accumulated accessories that no longer match my devices, like old phone cases, chargers, and adapters. Since I no longer own those devices, it's time to say goodbye to these accessories. I'll also get rid of the broken fan or mini PC that's been sitting unused for months. If it's not functional anymore or doesn't serve any purpose, there's no reason to keep it around. Next, I'll go through the old camera that I hardly use anymore. My phone does everything I need now, so I'll let go of the camera and free up some space. I'll also get rid of the old projector that's been gathering dust. If I'm not using it, it's better to donate or recycle it and create more room in the house. Lastly, I'll check for any other unused tech gadgets like older game consoles or other devices that I don't need anymore. These are just taking up valuable space, so it's time to let them go. By getting rid of all these unused electronics, I'll have more space, less clutter, and only the tech that truly adds value to my life. It's a great way to refresh the space and make my home feel more organized. Let's move on to decluttering books and magazines. This is an area where clutter builds up quickly, especially when we hold on to things that we no longer need or use. I'll start by getting rid of old books that I no longer read, whether it's a novel I've already finished or a book I meant to read but never did. It's time to part with those that are just sitting on the shelf gathering dust. Next, I'll clear out magazines that are outdated. Whether it's a magazine issue from a few months ago or one that's completely out of date, these are taking up space and no longer serve a purpose. It's time to recycle them. I'll also go through the old textbooks that I don't need anymore. These might have been useful once, but they're no longer relevant to my current life, so it's time to say goodbye. Next, I'll remove reading materials that are no longer relevant to my interests. These might be old guides, manuals, or self-help books that no longer align with my goals. They're taking up space, so I'll part with them. I'll also tackle any damaged hardcover books. If a book has seen better days, whether it's missing pages, the cover is falling apart, or it's just too worn out to enjoy, it's time to let it go and make room for something more readable. I'll get rid of advertisement-heavy magazines that no longer hold value. These tend to pile up over time, and once the promotions are outdated, they're just adding clutter without serving any purpose. Next, I'll remove books that are too old and dusty. These might have been sentimental at one point, but if they've just been sitting around and collecting dust, it's time to move on. I'll clear out books that can't be donated or reused. Whether they're in poor condition or simply won't be useful to anyone else, it's time to let them go. Next, I'll be clearing out books that no longer match my current interests. Our tastes evolve over time, and books I once thought I'd love now feel irrelevant to me. Letting go of these will help me make room for books that align with who I am today. I'll also toss old newspapers I've been holding onto for no reason. They've accumulated and take up space but haven't served any useful purpose in ages. It's time to let them go. I'll be removing cookbooks or recipe books that I never use. If I haven't referred to them in years or rarely use them, it's best to clear them out and make room for the recipes I actually rely on. Finally, I'll go through magazines and papers I've kept for sentimental reasons. Whether it's an old magazine with a memorable article or a newspaper clipping, it's time to let go of the clutter and keep only what's truly meaningful. Let's continue decluttering with a few more areas that tend to accumulate unnecessary items around the house. I'll start with unnecessary trays or storage containers that I've been holding on to. These are usually the ones I don't even use anymore, but still keep around because they've been sitting in a drawer or on a shelf for years. It's time to get rid of the ones that no longer serve a purpose and make room for the essentials. Next, I'll tackle the small household items that seem to multiply without us noticing. Whether it's random gadgets, spare keys, or old coasters, they often end up in drawers cluttering up space without adding any real value. I'll sort through them and only keep what I truly need. I'll also clear out sports equipment that I no longer use. Whether it's old tennis rackets, unused weights, or other gear that's been collecting dust in the corner, it's time to part with the things that no longer fit my routine or lifestyle. Next, I'll focus on the kids' toys that have been outgrown. Toys that are no longer played with, broken, or taking up space in the toy box need to be donated or discarded. Keeping them around just takes up valuable room that could be better used for more current useful items. Finally, I'll remove any outdated decorative items. These are the knickknacks or ornaments that were once trendy but now feel out of place in my home. Whether it's an old figurine, a piece of wall art that's no longer my style, or something that's just collecting dust, it's time to let it go and simplify my space. By clearing out these 5 categories, I'll not only free up physical space, but also create a cleaner, more organized environment that feels much more functional and relaxing. As we finish up decluttering these areas, I'm already feeling a huge sense of relief. The space is more open, and it's amazing how much lighter everything feels. Sometimes it's not about getting rid of everything, but just the things that no longer serve us or add value to our lives. But here's the thing. There might still be hidden clutter lurking around your home, even in the most unexpected places. In the next video, I'll be diving into those sneaky spots where clutter hides in plain sight, making your home feel messier than it really is. I'll show you simple ways to spot these hidden messes and clear them out without much effort. You won't believe where the mess is hiding. Stay tuned, because you'll be surprised at how much more room you'll create by tackling those areas. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I'll see you soon with more tips to create your dream space.